Hi everyone, welcome to my setting, fellow fans of the written word. And here we are reading the first 5 chapters of The Great Hunt, plus the prologue. It sure started slow, but that was to be expected. One thing though, I liked the prologue. I have a theory that the guy whose POV we follow, named Bors, yes, is he a white cloak? Because I'm kind of not baiting my breath, but I am waiting for a reveal that some of the higher ups in the white cloak hierarchy are corrupted, which is, I think, inevitable. I don't think it's cliche, so to say. It's the kind of universal truth. If you have a religious organization, one that's very strict, very despotic, very set out on might makes right, holding the moral high ground, I think it's inevitable that someone will get corrupted, whether they are realizing it or not. So yeah, that sure was interesting. Speaking of corruption, one bit that I enjoyed, a few chapters, I think it was in like chapter 5, or maybe at the end of 4, when after Moraine meets her Aes Sedai friend, who's now a higher up in the Aes Sedai order, we follow this red Aja Aes Sedai, and we follow her. Robert Jordan gives us insight into her thoughts, and it's almost exactly the same thing, only through the lens of Aes Sedai. It's, I am a person who is rewarded, who has this innate power, and people do not respect me enough. They barely nod a head towards me, while I am more powerful, more significant in her mind, more important than a queen, and yet no one bows before. And the way that a little bit of her childhood is revealed, where every Aes Sedai, from what I understand, has a specific gift, apart from the skills they learn. But she has a gift that she was explicitly forbidden to use after she was recruited. But to her, it only meant that she had to hide it better. She had to learn to be discreet with it. And whoa, this person sure is full of herself. The way she is able to push people's buttons with intimidation, with this moralistic just determination, if that's the correct phrase. That was fun. I am jumping a bit up and down, but on the subject of Aes Sedai, I understand the purpose behind Moraine, the dialogue between Moraine and her Aes Sedai friend. The scheming, I just thought it was exclusively for the reader's benefit. The way they kind of delivered exposition to each other, it did not feel like two human beings talking. Maybe I'm nitpicking, and I understand that some amount of exposition is inevitable in any kind of fictional story. That's not a flaw in itself, but the way it was done here, the way it was written, I thought it went on for too long. Robert Jordan could have interspersed this with flashbacks to something that was happening at the same time. Anything. I see that it was necessary, but it just went on and on and on. And yes, what was said was important, but it dragged a lot. And not in a slow burn, just person A. Yes, I have deliberately isolated myself from Rand. But he must do this and that. Ah, yes, his friend will do this and this. But you do know that we must not fail, and plans within plans. And I'm sorry, Robert Jordan, but you're not Frank Herbert, and plans within plans within plans are not. Maybe they are. I honestly think that even at this point, starting the second, it will be a series that rewards rereads, rewards just a secondary read while I'm not paying attention at events, but on setups that Robert Jordan installed. But that was also one thing about that prologue section. I was a bit kind of confused. I had to reread it a few times because at first I thought that the Dark Friend figures that were present were Perrin and Matt and Rand and everyone else, that they were that they were corrupted, that it was some kind of time jump. I did not fully understand that they were just projections, images of them. I suppose I should have paid more attention. I see now what was the matter with it. I was just, what? Why are they here talking to the Balsamon? What's going on? But yeah, the blacksmith, the swordsman, and the trickster. Sounds like a beginning of a Bob Dylan song. We must find some way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. Rand, your lordship. That was also funny and amusing, the way everyone else is treating Rand as a nobility. And here we find out that L in his name signifies, in the lands where he is, signifies a higher birth, and for him it's just son of, or at least the tradition in Two Rivers is just son. I'm kind of disappointed in Egwene and her just naive way of thinking, her talking to Padan Payne, whatever his name was, the brainwashed peddler from Two Rivers. She knows well that he is not to be trusted, and besides, if she's really so homesick and wants to talk to someone from her hometown, he's probably the last person who should be being the subject of reminiscing about the old times. Not very rational, but again, everything we do as humans is rational. I thought better of you, Egwene. We also have the snippet about the children, and once again I am kind of not amused but intrigued by their reach, by their power, by just influence of their order, and we see some shades of dark and gray, I suppose, between chain of command within the white cloaks, the children of the light, because a lot of them do despicable things like covering their tracks and slaughtering entire villages, and a person being responsible for this being annoyed not at the fact that they had to slaughter an entire town in order to stop the spreading of information about them, but oh no, the amateurs that did the slaughtering that I ordered dumped the bodies in the river, so they will wash up somewhere and our movement will be revealed, our actions will be revealed. So, but I don't think they're cartoony villains. I honestly like them more as an opposing force than the Dark One, Balsamon, and the rest. I think that Balsamon is a bit too evil, just a tad for my taste. And yes, to conclude, Red Aja sure are militant. So, thank you for watching and see you next time.